fascinating to ask people of your parents' generation what the rules were then. And you may go, my goodness me, they're a lot tougher than they are now. You know? how could you put up with that stuff? You know? So, yeah, I mean, whether we go, 10 years and 10 years and 10 years, or go generation and generation, yeah. So, the people who write the rules, the people who enforce the rules. So, yeah, I think there are lots of people, as Ezra said, with different perspectives on this issue. Okay, so what kinds of rules are there? Lots of rules in lots of areas. And you could probably do a whole project on any one area of rules. Yes?
Dress codes.
Dress code, okay, that's an obvious one. Okay, all right. Now, do dress codes differ between schools? Oh, why not? Why isn't there national legislation on this? I'm going to talk to my senator about this. We need a national dress code, I think. And you're all going to be in school uniforms as they are in other countries. Yeah, sorry. Ooh, sorry. Yeah. No.
I say I would go in the direction of not just like on specific rules, just like make just everybody gets the same order of discipline, or some people get more leniency as far as punishment goes. And because someone who's in trouble more is obviously deserves to get something more bigger punishment. But then people who do something as severe but may carry a 4.0 and doesn't get in trouble as much should also get the same time.
Yeah, and I think that sort of moves to the next level. But I think, remember, people, find it more comfortable to talk about the concrete issues. So something like dress code, what I'm allowed to wear, what I'm not allowed to wear, and why was I punished for this and she wasn't. That kind of stuff can be pretty specific and have some good sort. What other areas of rules do you have? Yeah.
Our kids really hate the hall pass issue because whether they're allowed to get out of class during class and stuff like that. Oh, they hate it.
All right. Okay. So.
We have a hall monitor.
All right. I'm not asking for your commentary on the rules. We're trying to be analytical and historical here. Okay. No editorial comments, please. All right. Okay. All right. So the hall rules. What other areas are the rules?
Electronic media, even laptops are kind of a big thing. Are they educational, or are they just playing around with it?
And can playing around with it be educational? Right. Another issue, yeah. Okay. What other areas of rules could we have? Where else do you run into trouble in the system? Yeah.
Bringing in knives.
Bringing in knives, yes. Knives, guns, AK-47, yes. Yeah.
A big one right now that's actually we just actually had a bill passed about is bullying and harassment.
Bullying and harassment. Okay. Dress code. Yeah, we had dress code already. Yeah. Yeah. What's the first? And maybe sort of think, not of yourselves, but think maybe 5 or 6 years ago. What was the first point in the school day when you ran into rules? What was the first time in the school day when there were rules?
Be on time.
Be on time, yeah. But it may be even before that.
Take the bus.
We're getting on the bus. Rules for the bus. Okay. Are there rules for the bus? Yes, there are rules for the bus. All right. There we go. Yeah. Well, this could turn into a good collective gripe session, couldn't it? Yeah. Yes,
the rules. I think the rules start when you wake up. You have the dress code.
Yeah. The rules start when you wake up because of the dress code. Yeah. All right. There are rules for the cafeteria. Okay. There are. So I actually think this is a good potential oral history project, because what you could do is you could form a team and say, okay, you go interview people on the dress code stuff, you go do the hall passes or the buses or whatever, and then you can get these specific areas. Then you can sort of build to some of the more abstract issues about whether the system of punishment is actually effective. Okay. But please don't ask questions such as, how many times were you sent to the principal's office last week? No, well, that would be a leading question. Right? What kinds of punishments are there? Detention, yeah. Saturday school, stuff like that, yeah. So I think you can get into an interesting discussion, both with your peers, about whether the system of rewards and punishments actually achieves behavior change. Is it effective? And we've talked a little bit about differences across time. What about space? Are there differences between rural and urban schools? Okay, are there differences between big city and small city schools? What about schools in predominantly African American or Hispanic neighborhoods? Would the rules be different there? So there could be some quite interesting questions that are kind of somewhat reflective of social and cultural issues. Yes.
Private and public.
Private and public. Develop your point. I think it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's like the difference between the space would be like a private school would have more strict.
Right, yeah. Private and public schools. Yeah. There's also the whole question of private and public space. I mean, is something that you do just outside the school boundaries, how far does the school's authority kind of legally and geographically extend? Can you walk behind there and start smoking?
But actually, it was like if you go to a public school.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. I was just making another point. No, that's good. Yeah, private schools and public schools. Some private schools are likely to have a dress code that would horrify some people. Yeah. Okay. Closing thoughts here. Okay. I think you can work oral history interviews into many historical projects, especially those that concern community issues and deal with groups that are not recognized maybe in the big picture. Thank you so much. Have a great trip to Nelsonville. Okay. And I will